Finance Nation here at Eden in Las Vegas. And so it's really exciting, like what's happening right now with just the education, man. The perspectives that we're getting. That's the maybe the primary thing. I don't know what to say the exact primary thing is, but one of the main things or the primary thing that we learned from AZD are perspectives. Dude has 8 girlfriends, super fine, has had multiple relationships for many, many years. 16 years or so, 17 years, I think his second girlfriend has been with him. And that's his second girlfriend. Like, many since then, over like 60. It's ridiculous. And the quality and the depth and the transparency, like it's a perspective. He has a perspective as a man being orbited by women and keeping them in orbit. I mean, it's a relationship, it's back and forth. Like those perspectives are just not available. You're not going to get the words and the sentences and the contexts and the situations that he'll talk about. Like, but it's an education because men can learn from other men about situations. Could you not prepare for war, prepare for camping, prepare for hunting, prepare for competition just by a man talking you up about it? This is what it's going to be like. Walking like this. You're going to need to dress like that. It's going to be cold like this. Once you kill the deer, you're going to have to carry it out. You're like, you can learn. Now you have to be in the game. Nobody can like do the wrestling for you or do the hunting for you. But can't you be prepared for it by another man just by telling you a story? So AZD is giving us perspectives that make you ready for it when it happens. And every guy, it's like 99.9, what's up? What's up, Lubita? 99.999% probably of people, but definitely of guys think they're good with girls. Or they're good with being terrible. They'll admit, I'm terrible, but I'm good with it. I'm focusing on other things. Like every ail of your life is stemming from your dissatisfaction in those relationships of yours or whatever you call it. Like your ambitions with what you're doing with work, your fashion habits, what you think is fun or funny, like your entertainment, everything has in the back of your mind women. Like you're doing what you're doing somehow in your misguided way because you think it's going to result in the game, and it's not. At best, you'll make a bunch of money, and then some woman will take advantage of you. And because she's been in the game the whole time and you've been barely just flirting with the game. Now, there are a handful of guys that are a little more experienced. I was talking to one of them on Instagram and he's a player in his own right, but there's a lot of disorder happening. So he has like 5 girls or something and they know about each other or whatever, but there's chaos, man. There's irresponsibility. There's a sloppy schedule. The dissipation of energy. So that there's no tribe, not a real tribe. And it's high quality for what he's coming out of. It'd be like, a genius coming out of the ghetto or something. Like for coming out of whatever culture you're in, whatever situation, neighborhood or wherever you're raised around, and being a player, you're upper echelon. But you know, the dial can be set on your body pretty early on. You're exposed to, some hot neighbor when you're kids or something, and you lose your virginity early. And you just, you have good body symmetry. You don't have bad injuries or bad ailments like growing up, and like you're more or less like you get set for success. But then you don't strive for world-class success. You're just okay being better than everybody else around you. And that's also going to result in misery. You have to have a future mind where you can see the future and see what your habits are going to result in. Like Armando, what's going to happen? What's going to result in those habits? I was telling you about different things like, grooming and whatever this woman. So you change your habits, you change your destiny. But, where are you getting your habits from? Are you just trial and error exploring? Did you get habits from somewhere? Because chances are you got a lot of habits from like dad or, other things that you've put together. And they're in competition with everybody else's habits. Like, if you don't think you're in competition, then go out and try to make $1. Go out and try to get a job. Go out and try to get a girl. If the job is worth it, if the money's worth it, if the girl is worth it, probably other guys are going for it too. And are you not in competition? I mean, how many guys can impregnate a woman at a time? One. Your sperm's definitely in competition there. And where was I going with that? Oh man, I was going in a really good direction. Well, anyway, well, be yourself. That's what's so interesting about the game now, because it really feels like we're not even gaming like that. Man, how do I explain this? It's an old thing, it's an old statement. Most guys have had some older chick tell them, or what's up, Lotus Light, yo, yo, yo. Most guys had a sister, mother, brother, even friends, tell them, girls that had friends on them, like a lot of guys. It's a common thing. A lot of guys, men's relationship discussion comment. Oh, that's AI, man. AI is cool, man. Yeah, if you guys want to talk relationships, then hop on. Let's stream. So, uh, where you get your habits from? Get your habits from somewhere. Oh, it's a competition of habits. Because your habits are your destiny, man. There's a guy here. I'm living with him, almost 30 years old or so. Smart guy, accomplished some things. Dude, he just completed like an 8 or 9 day fast, ate nothing for 8 or 9 days, and was bright, was energetic, was communicating, was taking a little nutritional supplement that like kept him going. It was amazing. I was so inspired. Like, so that guy, mispronouncing a word, just kept saying depth. He had a Mexican background. Depth, depth, depth. It's like, bro, it's debt. The B is silent in English. Like you sound like an idiot. It should be obvious. You're 30. You've heard other people say it. Can't they? Did you not pick up the context clues with the silent B that people think dumber of you if you just keep saying depth? Like, do you not read? Do you not? Okay. So it's a habit. I helped him break the habit, or he'll hate me for it. Like Armando may hate me for what I told you this morning. Grooming delivery came across as condescending. Oh, there it is. Especially in front of the brothers. Uh, that's the thing is everybody already noticed it and nobody was saying anything to you about it because they're too nice. So I get the rap for being the guy that's too mean, and yet I think everybody's just too weak. So they nurture your weakness. Now I was thinking about it afterwards, and I was like, besides the fact that I'm pretty sure you can fix that. Pretty sure. It's not my battle. It's not my cross to bear. So I'm not going to research it on ChatGPT, but pretty sure it's fixable. If not, then you should paint your toenails. And that should, just be obvious. That nobody said that to you. I don't know why nobody has said that to you, but yeah. Anyway, I get that a lot. And I think I do come across condescending in a lot of ways. So, you'll get your destiny. The world will give me the result of my communication. I think overall it was best, but I may reflect. Like I was telling everybody when I went to the sauna last night, man, I had such a flash of transformed perspectives of my own life. I saw flaws in my communication. I just couldn't believe it over and over. It was embarrassing at the same time it was releasing. Boom, boom, boom. So maybe that toenail one will be that thing. But at the same time, I have a lot of examples of guys that I was like that with that later thanked me. It's not comfortable being the guy that tells somebody what's off. But, it's also not the first thing. It's an accumulation of things. Let's say somebody is on their shit. They're doing everything right. And then they do that one thing that's off, like they leave their trash behind or something. Versus the same guy, different universe. He's doing everything wrong, man. He's just getting on everybody's nerves, whatever. And then he leaves the same trash in the same location. Contextually, it's different, even though cut out of context, it's the exact same thing. Within the context, it maybe gets corrected differently. It's just disrespectful that they stay silent. It's also ignorant because I don't even know how aware they are of what they're perceiving and what they can say. They aren't friends if they don't point out the booger in my nose exactly. But yours deserves more respect than silence. Thank you. I think I don't really understand, but it sounds like a compliment. Appreciate it. Appreciate you. Okay, so your habits are in competition with everybody else's habits. If you have certain grooming habits versus the next guy has different grooming habits, he smells better, looks better, whatever. Two twins or whatever, different universe, the same guy. The habits, which one gets the girl? It's not just based on grooming. So your communications habits, you learn them from somewhere, and have you ever noticed that you communicate in a certain pattern, or when you're angry, you say certain words, or you acknowledge in certain ways. Like the more you get involved in social dynamics and you see the first impressions you're making and you hear the mimicry that's going on, you got to do it a lot to get familiar with it. And that's the thing. So I titled this whole stream, I got to pin my TK's on. We're blessed with TK. TK has arrived out of the pit of darkness, battling the demons of hell for the last 6 weeks. He has arrived. All cameras on. The parade with the trumpets are coming around the pyramid. And then TK, he's the shaman. He comes out from, he's the guy in Apocalypto that's like eating the hearts and tripping out on ayahuasca. Like, the sun. And then they're like, oh shit, a full eclipse is happening. And, TK, what's up? Okay. So a battle of habits. You have certain habits, communication. Yeah, have you ever noticed what was I saying? Emotions, use the same words. Social dynamics, being natural. Be yourself. A lot of people tell you be yourself, but nobody can really help you with that. Well, I think what they mean, and that's the thing. Listen to this. Check this out. I just came across this today because this is how fucked up English is. And you got to know it's fucked up in all languages throughout the whole language. That's why you need to practice. You need to. There was a episode of The Simpsons. Check this out. Double check out. This is doubling down on this. Check this out. So I got another. This is compounding on the previous check this out, which I haven't even gotten to yet. So it's like a check this out on top of a check this out. So pay attention. What was I talking? No, I'm just kidding. So the old Simpsons episode, dude gives Bart Simpson a pellet gun. He's telling him shoot this bird out of a tree. He aims for the bird. Bart Simpson feels sympathy for the bird, so he aims off on purpose and then shoots the gun, and it kills the bird. And then the kid is telling Bart Simpson like, "Wow, you even adjusted for the crooked sights. That's amazing." And then Bart was all sad because he didn't even know it had crooked sights. He figured it was just straight line. So with communication, you say one thing. Literally, it means XYZ. But what it actually means is ABC. You say XYZ and you assume it means XYZ, but it's really getting picked up as AB9 or something. And it's like, what the fuck? Okay, so here's the example to bring it home. Check this out. Tying it all together. People tell you be yourself. What they really mean, you thought it meant BE space YOURSELF. Be yourself. No. What they really mean is take out the effort. What a trip. And they were well intentioned, not trying to be malicious, not trying to be indirect. They were actually trying to be as direct about as you could fucking be. That's what I mean. Even the best of the best phrases are cloaking what's really being meant. That's how English is. So now communicate with a girl. Add some emotions. Fuck. Never connecting. Just missing each other. Coming together when there's lust. Then communicating. Just out of communication. Married couple 40 years. Might as well be 10 light years apart. But then they still fuck once a month or something. So that's how bad it is, and you got to take it as serious as life itself because there is no life. You could procreate as a chimpanzee, but like the life, the animating force, you haven't developed it or evolved it. You've numbed it, distracted it, and gone through the monkey motions of creating a kid. But it's not life. Life, the enthusiasm, presence, connecting with people brings a lot of that. There's a lot of latent energy. That's why communication is so important. So you got to align your jobs and occupations with something that has you interacting with people. Sales is great. Face it. Face it, face it, face it. Just like game, you got to face it. You got to face it if you suck. You got to face it. And then hopefully you have a team that you can, up your vibe consistently with and alchemize and be accountable. And it's not easy. It's not easy to be a baby bottle bitch. It's easier to be a little baby about everything. And your mom could be dying, but you'd be a baby about it. Or you could get a splinter in your toe and be a baby about it. Either way, not knowing your background story, look at that guy. He's being a baby. The baby software got activated. Triggered all the way back to 6 months old or some shit. Got to overcome, got to align character, raise awareness, raise self-control, but without control. Now, how do you be yourself? Stop trying. But then when you stop trying, you'll see that your software is fucked up. It's not very advantageous. You're operating an iPhone 1986 in the year 3034. And surprise, everybody's wearing your model iPhone 19 cases with iPhone 3 softwares. Everybody's working on their iPhone case of the body of their front first impressions and things like that, but they got no substance. The software, okay. So be yourself. Now, let's say I'm doing jujitsu and I'm learning the moves, I'm practicing real hard, I'm getting submitted, I'm trying real hard to submit other people, I'm practicing, 3 times a week or something. Now, be yourself. Okay, I'm gonna get submitted. The more effort I exert, maybe I can protect myself, but I'll also develop a kind of resentment to the activity. I'll start not looking forward to it because I'm not relaxed in it and I'm just protecting myself. And maybe there are some assholes in the class and that's what you face. And so the gym should be, where everybody's training to get better so that even if they submit you, they don't injure you and this and that. So it takes trust. And I get it. And that's life also. You can trust that the girl is not going to completely destroy you, but then she keys your car and takes your money or something, and you got to have some guard. But then if you do, then what is that habit going to result in the rest of life? So it's like you got to be better at selecting character and be strong enough to be betrayed at the highest levels and just not even sweat it because that's what is that? That's just 3D shit. Words though, lose your mom and not be a baby. You know what I'm saying? There's the real experience and then there's like our words on it. Like don't be a baby. Like okay, so that's how important this is. This is the most dramatic drama of life, your life. Go and watch a soap opera, go and watch a Hollywood blockbuster, go and read the newspaper or gossip about someone else's life. The biggest drama of life is your own life. And it's a really sad drama. And so that's why we numb ourselves to it. And so you got to fall in love with the pain, but pain of self-awareness and confronting weaknesses and just the fact that your software is fucked up. Like whether you can change. It's worth more than everything you ever invested in everything else combined, but only to you. No one else cares. So if you don't value yourself, then it's worth pennies. If you value yourself, it's worth everything you ever invested times 10. So that's the validation is here, the truth is here, like the results are in, testimonies are in, so it works, it is what it is. So that's not in question. So then it's if you want it bad enough. Not everybody wants a golf swing. Not everybody wants a golf club. Not everybody wants game at this level, which is how to become a son of God in the solar center of orbiting bodies, which would be your business, your customers, your friends, you're a center, star center. And you hold it down, and you be part of a galaxy, a tribe. And maybe you get so big that you become the center of your own galaxy. Collaborate with other galaxy clusters. I mean, as above, so below, like it's what people are. But everybody's just a bunch of orbiting bodies, dead rocks, floating in between stars. That's what an independent woman is, just some planet that's floating in between stars. And our galaxy of America and the world has become filled with a bunch of floating planets and a bunch of stars that are confused, and the stars are acting like planets, and the planets are acting like stars, and it's a whole fucked up. And how much energy are you gonna have there? It's not gonna be that good. So a competition of habits. Be yourself. Take out the effort. So now I'm at jujitsu. I take out the effort. Okay, maybe I get hurt, maybe I don't, but I'll bet I learn better jujitsu if I take out the effort to be somebody and just play the game as I am. I'll beat some people. I'll lose to other people and I'll take what comes to me for a love of the game. Maybe I don't find my future jujitsu, training partner for life, but build relationships with everybody so that everybody likes me, wants to train with me, and gives me their best. Oh, Diamond Bavel's on Zoom. So now I'll translate it to game. Oh, no. Let's keep going with jiu-jitsu analogies. So then I get better. I get better and better and better at jiu-jitsu. Now, at a higher level, I'm faced with the same paradox. I'm going against better opponents as I get better. I know sick moves. I know how to transition, how to submit from all kinds of weird angles. But I'm still guarded. I'm tense. I'm blocking too much. I'm not opening up my techniques because I'm always protecting, playing some long-term game or whatever. Versus I relax and I take the humble losses, but I learn to flow and I get better faster to where I can block those losses because I learn better by not being so tense and guarded where I'm brittle, rigid. This is the truth of martial arts. Like if you're too tense when you learn, you'll win in the short term, but in the long term, you get fatigued and you learn less your techniques. You stay in a narrow lane. At some point, you're going to come across somebody that's transcended that, and you'll never beat them until you let go of that game. You let go of that strategy. So now in game, social dynamics, be yourself with women. Good. Take out the effort. But now what? You still need to learn the skills. And if you only do competition, If you try to learn wrestling only by doing tournaments and never practicing, never getting a coaching class, never breaking down technique, never drilling with somebody, never doing mock matches with your teammates. If the only experience you have of wrestling or jujitsu is game time, if the only experience you ever have of soccer is the game and never practicing going back and forth between cones, juggling, dribbling, passing, shooting, if you never practice kicking the ball, you only ever practice when you play the game, I mean, you're as good as backyard kick a can in a third world country soccer. You're never going to make it in the game of soccer against somebody who takes time outside of the game to practice the skills needed for the game. Now, again, the analogy with jiu-jitsu, if you take out the stress, the worry, the tension, the effort of being somebody, you'll probably learn soccer better. You won't get injured as much. You'll have a longer lifespan. And the longer your lifespan, the better you learn the skills. Now, those physical sports have lifespans, real lifespans, so your body's only lived for so long. But business and game relationships does not have a lifespan other than your own life. You keep getting better as a man. So the analogy breaks down with sports, but it's a really good analogy. In the game, how do you be yourself with women? You take out the effort, but then you're going to get the results that you get. How were you molded? What was the early, what are your habits? You're just going to get what your habits give you. Is there a way to change your habits without effort so that you just be yourself the whole time? Yeah, that's what a coach or teacher guides you through processes so that you can, from a relaxed state, reevaluate yourself and change yourself, change your behaviors. And then you have to develop a lifestyle to get you involved with people so that you can play the game. Because if you only ever play the game when the girl shows up and that's the girl you want and that's the first game that you're throwing, that'd be like jumping in the soccer match and never dribbling the ball, practicing outside of practice. You just jump in the game. How good are you going to be? And in life, let's say life, the game of the game, it's a team sport. So if 10 of us go out and one of you go out, it's 1 versus 10. But it's not a team sport like the team size is 5v5, 6v6. It's unlimited versus one, all the way down to one. It's unlimited versus unlimited. If I have a team of 200, you have a team of 20, but that's not going to work. It's not practical in a club. You're not going to take 200 guys, but just to exemplify, you could have a team of 3, I could have a team of 5. You could have a team of 2, I could have a team of 1. You could have a team of 7, I could have a team of 6. My 6 guys are fighters, your 7 guys are nerds, like on computer nerds. Mine could be fighter nerds, but they're fighter nerds. You could be, computer. You know what I'm saying? Like numbers and power level matter in the game. If I go out with 7 guys that look good that are fighters, you go out with 7 guys that look good that are millionaires. Oh, that's an interesting game. Now, how tight is the group of guys? Whatever, whatever. And now some other guy comes in and he's a lone wolf millionaire, and another guy comes in, he's a lone wolf fighter. They could do better than the teams if the teams have infighting. They'll do definitely worse than the teams if the teams get along. Like 1 fighter versus 7 fighters. If the 7 fighters are all bickering with each other, then the 1 fighter can win. But if there's teamwork with the team of 7, just in the game of life, just the movement, knowing nothing else about them, all things equal, 7 wins. The girl would rather go with a team, more safe, more protected, more choices, options, more resources, more everything. I mean, the only thing there's less of is possibly uniformity, like if the team doesn't operate in harmony. But it's not like an individual guy is operating in harmony. He's chaos. He makes a decision, goes against his decision, goes left, goes right, indecisive. He's also not unified. But a group can be much more chaotic if they're a bunch of ununified people, an ununified group of ununified individuals. That's more chaotic. But that's the evolution. That's why guys don't operate in teams, because they do worse in a team. But it's because they got the wrong teammates. In theory, you should be able to see that you do better with the team. So the game of life is a team sport. And now be yourself. How do you train outside? Well, you get perspectives and philosophies that allow you to see life as a practice field and see your role in every interaction and every choice and decision you're making, every self-talk, every just action, the strategy, the presence, your life, every moment to moment is your practice. And the more you see it as that, the better you can get at a game. Now, there's other people are real. So they introduce random variables into your life that you have no control over. Your water bottle is probably not going to move itself across the table, but a person will move themselves. So it's like the person introduces randomness that you bring order to and harmony with. And so the game is much more dynamic when you have other people instead of just computer programming and stock trading and working out and like, okay, there's a game there, yeah, but you know, other people. Now introduce a woman of your desire, a beautiful woman, a woman of your choice. Like you give it a relationship, introduce multiple women, and you got a lot of disorder. The end result is what every man wants, but very few men are willing to go through the work for it. And they'll shortcut as many ways as they can until they reach the climax of what they'll be able to achieve on their own. And then they'll talk about the glory days about how they got it, they had enough pussy, they got it down. It's going. They're focusing on something else right now, and you got to be able to future cast that you're headed for misery more than you're already in, just deeper, deeper misery. You're not getting better at game. At the very best, you're setting yourself up to be taken advantage of by a woman. You have to practice your game while you're winning at life. We have the solution. The solution is you never leave IMC Nation. It's you study for life because we keep evolving, man, and we're so close to AZD, and AZD is tapped in with 8 super rock girlfriends and an AI engine that's producing so much content you can't even imagine. Like as long as AZD is alive, he's moving faster than people can catch up to him. The gap is actually keeps increasing, but the perspectives are real. If you were channeling some technology blueprints and you could make a levitating object, it may not levitate the whole pyramid, but you just made a levitating object. That's pretty fucking cool. And once you know that is real, it's hard to just kind of like, I don't know, go watch Netflix. Because it's like, man, this is more interesting actually. You just watch Netflix for like ideas and inspirations and shit. But as part of a craft, man, does this inspire anything in anybody? Anybody got something to say? I feel like, the main theme of the thing was be yourself. Maybe if there's another voice. I want to wrap it up and go to the sauna here soon, but if somebody's got something to say, then speak up. Request to go live. Aaron Blue, what's up? I was just talking about you today. Going once, going twice. I know the online's a little lag, so I'll let you guys catch up for a second. Point made, nothing to say. Be yourself. Take the effort out. I'm a meditator, I'm a yogi. And I've been practicing yoga for a long time, and I've been meditating for a long time, and I had a lot of great teachers, and I made a business out of it and convinced a lot of successful business people that were in the yoga space to believe me and follow my teachings. And so it was legitimized by those kinds of people. And the more from that perspective, what's going on, Aaron? Man, just I mean, we leaped so far forward into the game that we're doing. It's game beyond game. We're not even gaming anymore, man. And the evidence is with the tribe. It's everything I'm talking about. So I can tell you from the meditator's perspective that the more you can relax and stay alert at the same time, and the relaxation is much more than the body. Yeah, you want to relax the body, but a relaxation of mental tension, relaxation of eyes, relaxation of just your thinking process. The more you can relax expectations, relax tension, I don't know what to say, and be present, relaxing, alert, present, relax. The more you can do that, the more you'll see what is. And when you can do that in social dynamics and relationships, the more you'll see what is happening between you and them, with you, and the relationship between you and them. And when you see what's happening, you change. Because, like, if you see your posture from outside yourself, like you see yourself from 10 feet behind yourself, you change your posture. When you see your face from 3 feet in front of yourself, change your face. When you see your relationship not through your mind, well, not not through your habitual mind, but you step out, be present. That's out of habit. You know, you can make a habit of presence, but it's kind of a paradox because if you're habitually in the present moment, then you never step in the same river twice. No two moments are the same. So it's by definition out of it's not a habit. Like you're not seeing things habitually if you're always present. Even if you've made a habit out of presence, the perspective is just fluid. And so if you're present, your relationship changes as soon as you observe it. Just like if you observe your posture, observe your breathing, observe your tension, it changes when you notice it. When did you start meditation journey? Well, I got it's later I got more initiated into the transcendental meditation journey about 5 years ago. But as I got deep into it and I had a lot of experiences, past life things, the teachers noticed things like AZD is a very highly connected person spiritually and in multiple dimensions. And there's a lot of validation, uh, synchronicities, and kind of mystical experiences that confirmed. But I'd already been teaching yoga many years and practiced yoga for like 7, 8 years. And I'd learned different meditations. But what I learned when I got deep into TM, despite all the warnings, and I'll tell you, a lot of the yoga community gives warnings against TM, and it's ridiculous. TM's amazing. And so as I got deep into TM, learning the advanced technique and whatever, I saw and I noticed that I had been meditating with my yoga practice, not knowing it. It has to do with past life stuff. Like I already knew what I was doing, but it took the TM. It's almost like a litmus test or some kind of temperature reading or something. Like you have a very TM transcendental meditation. You have a very exact measurement of your meditation experience with TM. And then with that, I was able to notice that throughout my yoga experience, my yoga career and life and practice, I practice a lot. I was meditating at times. There were times I was doing it because I didn't know what meditation was like that. I did a lot of things, did a lot of breathing practice, all kinds of shit like that. So the TM journey, I got to say it like that in all honesty, because the TM is definitely authoritative that I've been practicing that for 5 years. But I got to tell you, a lot of people in the world will say meditate on gardening, meditate while reading, meditate while drinking coffee, smoking a cigarette. Like they'll even talk about meditation with visualizations and shit like that. That's not it. There's something else that is meditation. And I was actually doing that before I learned TM. TM solidified it, gave me a more tangible, easier route, and so I could practice more efficiently, and the results compounded a lot, to the point where I've really transitioned a lot of physical yoga just into meditating. That's the time it goes towards that. So it's an ingredient of what AZD does. It brings presence, etc. Why I'm saying all that? So I made the analogy about jujitsu and be yourself. So as I get to tougher opponents, I may get better, but I'm still guarded, et cetera, et cetera. I can say from meditation and yoga experience that if you relax and having a PhD, the more you can relax while you stay alert, the better you learn, the better you retain, the better your reflexes, the more sustainable the activity, you get less fatigued. Like it should be obvious. The more relaxed you can do the activity. Now, if being yourself is taking out the effort, there is this other thing called skill that I can be effortless white belt jujitsu, effortless brown belt, black belt jujitsu. I could be effortful white belt trying to be somebody, protecting myself. I could be effortful black belt trying to protect myself, be somebody. And like I said, relaxation brings presence, and presence, you observe what is. When you observe what is, it changes. And if you want to change your jujitsu skills, you better observe what it is, as it's happening, not putting up guard and being tense and guarding yourself. And you're not observing as much as you would be if you were relaxed. And same with relationships, and same with courtship and pickup and game with the woman or in your social life, sales, everything. The more you're present with what's happening, the more you see what's happening, the more it changes. And I mean, as it changes, you're changing. So make a habit of changing and you become a changeling or a shapeshifter. Uh, and why I'm saying all of that, oh man, really nice ribbon I was going to tie on that and then get to your question. Um, Mm, competition of habits, relaxation, observe what is. Skill. Skill is something separate. So you can be totally present but have no skill, like Eckhart Tolle. Eckhart Tolle has all the presence in the world, relaxation, but no skill with women. He may not want it, but okay, go be that. I mean, he's weird looking, terrible posture, terrible energy, and has an ugly woman, right? Whatever. So you may not want that. You could go for that. Can you pull in an Eckhart Tolle type of presence, but also be looking at the skill of the courtship? Because there's a lot of energy, a lot of creativity and influence available through proper courtship. Business thrives. There's so much creative energy in a right dynamic with a woman. Inspiration, truly. And if you want that to last beyond just the first 1 or 2 or 3 months of honeymoon phase, you got to have a proper dynamic, and you're going to probably need to have a lot of other women because it's just you're going to be too molded to that one girl. She's going to control you, and you're going to resent her after a while. Aaron Blue, when I had to do the prep, the ayahuasca, and for 6 to 8 months after, I never felt more connected to it all. The relaxation is real. People feel it. Yeah, man. The more comfortable you are with yourself, it transfers. Like at the sauna the other day, I'm all there meditating in the corner, and this fat white guy who you could tell never meditates started meditating next to me. I could tell he was tapping in, and the vibe is rubbing off, right? It's like a sweat lodge experience. I go in there like a monk on a mountain. But yeah, so all right, what am I saying? Relax, observe what is, it changes, be yourself, take out the effort. So while you're gaming, if you can relax while you're in interactions, while you relax and observe what is, and like I said, it's a mental relaxation of effort. You be yourself. But those naysayers, the people that try to hold you back and they're like, just be yourself, you don't have to learn game or learn skills or whatever. They also have no skills to improve your game, most of them. So you'll get a lot of practice at like taking out the effort, but you'll be all dissatisfied with the results. Eventually, effort will creep back in because you'll get somewhere with a little effort. That's the a little bit of the trap of it. A little bit of effort will get you further in the short term, but you'll crash and burn. Relax, and you don't get as fast at first, but you change. It's the tortoise and the hare. It's the Chinese finger trap. Relax, and you get out of the trap of how you were raised as a man. But remember, it's a mental relaxation. It's an effort. When you look at your life, relax the effort. When you look at your day, relax. See what is. When you see the social interactions, relax when you recall it. Relax while you're in it. See what is, respond to what is, and then learn the skill of influence and telepathy. And to learn that skill, in order to learn that skill, you're going to have a otherworldly perspective of what's happening on Earth. Because if you just take it at face value, you're not, again, be yourself really meant take out the effort. Because nobody can be yourself. How am I not being myself? That sentence is a trap in itself. It just throws you into the middle of space and you don't even know what to do with it. Like, throw me a fucking life preserver with a rope somewhere, at least. Like, you say, be yourself. If I take that on, like, what is myself? What is myself? Bro, you just trapped that person into a loop. They were already being themselves. Words to know what it is. And it stretched and grew with them, and they're still wearing a mask all over their body. It's in their posture, it's in their face, and it filters. It's this tech suit. It filters what goes in, how they hear things. It filters what goes out. They intend to be good, but they say something stupid, or they intend to be mad and they say something weak, or whatever. They interpret what she said as so offensive when really she was just teasing them because she liked them. And it's like this mask is fucking up your life, but you think you're the mask, and people think they're the mask. How do you be yourself? So they're being themselves as much as they're aware that they're themselves, but they think that they're their masks. So that's where TM comes in, but that's just an ingredient. There's a million TM practitioners around the world, and 1,000,001 of them are very weak socially. They have influence over their little yoga communities that they work in, but man, the earth has so much variety. You have to win everywhere. Be a Buddha everywhere. Be a Jesus everywhere. Why confine yourself to just the church that you go to? So if a TM practitioner or any practitioner, not to knock it because I mean, obviously I practice it. It's fucking awesome. Everybody should do it. I'm just saying that just because I give that as an ingredient or I say cosmic disclosure as an ingredient, man, they are invaluable. But just like jujitsu, you could give jujitsu to somebody who's never trained, who doesn't know anything, and they can't even teach it right, let alone do it right, but they have all the data. That's like a Royo Tomasi versus someone who has all the skills and the results and can do it and trains every day for the last like so many decades. And those skills, relax, learn them, change your life. Your habits will get you your destiny, and life is a competition of habits. Your business habits, your mating habits, your grooming habits, your communication habits. You have to separate from the habits and then reform them for success. There are successful habits of life, communication, sales, mindset, all that stuff. But that's not you. You're behind all that. You're something else, whatever that is. From there, relax. Relax all the effort, and then there's you, there's yourself. Now, develop yourself so that you're more beautiful, more handsome, more attractive, more influential, more powerful. Develop yourself. Always stay relaxed behind it. You don't get tense developing yourself. You gotta, that's the love of the game, man. You're in it, but not of it. Jump in the ocean, stay dry. You are not it, but you're playing with it. And if you're not playing, the spirit of play is part of it. It's straight AZD teachings. So you guys got to get on the daily class. If you're not already, get on the $47 class. The next one is Tuesday. It's every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, 10 a.m. Pacific with AZD on Zoom. Plus, we're all in the room with him. It's fucking dope. Actually, that one's online. So he's at his place with the girlfriends in the background. So that's fucking dope. And what else? Residency, this and that. I'll open it up if there's any questions. There's still a few people on. I'll check the YouTube for any comments. Otherwise, I want to go to the sauna, man. That's my reward for doing the stream. I really didn't want to do the stream, but I felt like the world needed it. So take advantage because I don't know what the next one I'm going to do. Let's see. Okay, well, there's a chance. Uh, why does YouTube say it only streamed for like 3 minutes? That's ridiculous. Yeah, that can't be right. Chills, nice. Sammer, man, you guys got to come here. Life is so different. It's so different. It's just not your world, man. When you have accountability, living with these other guys who are all training mindset and communication with the top influencer when it comes to women, the number one influencer, you could say so and so influences because they have a makeup line and a bunch of women buy from it. But if you got down to it, that individual probably wants to influence women all the way into the bedroom. That's where they really want that influence. So they have a lot of superficial influence. They can get a woman to spend $1 on makeup versus mating influence. It's the ultimate influence. Get a woman to go to bed with you and stay with you for years. Now, what quality of woman is it? What quality of dynamic is it? Now, how many women? Oh, already, if you get multiple women, influence them in a bit. Now, influence triggers people, but that's what I'm saying. A lot of people are two-faced. That's the X factor for AZD, is its congruence. That's what his messenger's training is. How do you become congruent? You are an amalgamation, a hodgepodge clusterfuck of mimicry. You're mimicking what you grew up around, how you were conditioned, how you decided to act after traumatic experiences. They get soldered in your nervous system. That's how, but it's just the software, man. But it's an amalgamation of whatever worked maybe in that moment, worked enough that you survived until now. But it's not. What does the saying go? The habit that saved the boy suffocates the man, or something like that. So that's the messengers. AZD has a tech that goes so deep and then aligns you to a childlike charm that you and every other person had as a child that was more of an archetype versus a personality. It was meaning it's a finite number of kind of arbitrarily grouped characters uh, that you could see in there's many different like there's many kinds of archetypes, but let's say let's say an avant-garde. Avant-garde is a kind of character. like someone who's very innovative and specializes in creativity, versus an architect, a designer. So that's a different kind of character. Someone who builds things and designs things versus a champion, someone who wins things. He just competes and wins. Different kids, they have different dispositions, but you lost that through rejection and negation and invalidation and suppression. And then you mimicked the people around you that were stronger than you as a little kid, which is pretty much everybody. And then you became a bunch of mimicry. You're just mirroring shit. So now you try to game and be authentic, be yourself, and that's not attractive because you're just a mimicry of a bunch of bullies, and so you're not attractive. So then you learn some fake game. Someone else figured out you say this, do this, say this, do this, and eventually she'll have sex with you. You do the numbers and you eventually get some girls, but then when they're around you long enough, the game runs out and they get to see who you really are, and you're not that attractive as a character. Again, iPhone 17 case with an iPhone 3 software. Looks good, inside not that good. So men and women relationships don't last because the character is really bad, actually. Women are duped by candy and toys, and men are duped by tits and ass, and what's the character of the people? So AZD has a way of going in under all of that, identifying your childlike charm, and then developing you from there. Start over. You're not going to be able to salvage what you have. You're going to have to erase it. But you can't just erase it because then you're a zombie, so you rewrite it. And then the experience, you become a walking, talking hero's journey. Then you can assimilate your whole life, and your story is your power because no one else has your story. So now it's a competition of poetry. Who can tell their story better? The world's greatest poet could probably tell a poem about a pile of dog shit better than you could tell a poem about a beautiful flower. So it's not about the life you had, it's how intelligently can you tell it. But that's a mindset and a skill. Now relax. It's a skill. Relax. Learn it. Learn it like your life depends on it. Because it does. There's no way around it. Like, and so that's the warrior comes in because everything's against you from the inside. But that all was put in from the outside when you weren't looking or strong enough to deflect it or aware enough to deflect it. So now it's inside and there's your habits. Your dial is set, you're going for a future, but are you a tree or are you a human? You can reflect on yourself and change your habits. A tree can't. Break the tree branch, it just keeps growing from a broken tree branch. Break your ego, you can correct it, come back stronger. Okay? All right. So obviously I recommend messengers to those who are capable. Messengers. There ain't nothing like it. Your game is going to dead end in discouragement if you don't do messengers. There's nobody, please, I challenge you. There is nobody beating the game like AZD. There are guys that will say they are, but they can't keep the relationships and they don't have the quality of women that they want, or both. And so if you can't keep the relationship, you don't have the quality you want, then how could you say you're winning the game? So out of all the people in the game, I don't know any that are winning except AZD. I know one other guy who got the girl of his dreams and he's married and has a kid with her. And he's a celebrity and she's a bigger celebrity. And he got his dream girl through his music. Fairly B-list successful. I listen to his music, he's great. And I wouldn't want that life, and I think he's still suppressed, but he made a decision and we need fathers. So whatever, dude. Whatever. I know a lot of guys, and that's one. And I think he just doesn't have the tech, and he's too successful in what he does and who he has to. And now you might be treating your 5 girlfriend like he treats his 10 celebrity girl that opened up the entire world to him and his music and took his message to the world stage because she fell in love with him. Cool, man. Who am I to knock on that? But that is such a rare case. And that guy is a badass, super badass, like hella alpha in his field. Like really one of the top guys that AZD knows. But everybody else, they're not beating the game. So who are you going to learn from? Or are you going to just reinvent the wheel yourself and figure it out? Thank you. Thank you, GMAC. Man, I've been talking to you forever for probably like 10 years. I hope you can make it onto this $47 class because AZD finally dropped it. 3 days a week, 3 hours of class, get the recording, $47 a month. Now is the best time to learn from AZD. Before he takes off, women's fit, he just recruited his seventh girl. He pulled his seventh girlfriend out of dancing, doesn't dance anymore, working at the Women's Fitness Center. It's about to explode here in Vegas. And then good luck learning from AZD for $50 a month. Like it'll be me teaching, you'll pay $50 a month, and then like, you know, AZD will be what he is, 2K or 25K messengers. So the guys that are capable, if you don't do messengers, man, you're just never going to get it. You're going to be spinning your wheels until you do that and get that tech. There's no one else you can learn from, and you're not going to get it from AZD's lower tech. He realized it. He learned it. It's just, and the game is to be sold, not told. I need to check it out. I ought to give you a call. Yeah, man, just text me after this. I'm on my way to the sauna. Uh, so that's what it is, man, because you don't give a lightsaber to a child. You don't give a gun to a monkey. If you're not educated in his higher philosophies and perspectives, which are a combination of other people's philosophies, not just him, but he brings it together and makes it cohesive and coherent, and then introduces his own innovations, which are tremendous. He is an innovator. He's a philosopher. He is a wiki character on Wikipedia or something. Like he's contributed and innovated outside of just his success in the game as being a stellar athlete. He innovated basketball. He brought new moves, new dribbles, new like he created beyond whatever Michael Jordan was. Because I don't know anybody else that's close to AZD's success in the game. There are other famous figureheads that are well known, but their success is nothing compared to AZD's success. It's really so far behind. How do you compare 8 super hot girlfriends for long-term relationships to the next guy? Where's the next guy at? Do you hear the words eight, eight? Super fine. Girlfriends, long-term, perfect harmony, all knowing about each other. It's like so many steps ahead of wherever you are at. And even I'm at, I'm educating myself, man, I'm getting better. That's the thing, I'm relaxed and it's just beyond the game. My experience is beyond where you're at, I know. And there's just no other way around it. AZD is a boss. Man, he's a boss of bosses, bro. Boss. So, Samurai, I saw you pulled your camera on. I felt like that meant you wanted to say something. If you want to catch a convo before I go to the sauna, let's go.
Hey Chris, it's Troy.
Oh, it's Troy is who it was. You look like Samurai, actually. Troy Story from San Jose. What's up?
Not much. I'm sorry I caught it late.
I was told I got some good feedback. It was good. I thought it was pretty good, but it's streamed on the YouTube if you want to catch the earlier part. I'm kind of long-winded.
Okay, cool. I'll look at your YouTube because I was looking at your Spotify. It's not like up to date, or is it?
It is, man. Thanks for mentioning that. I have been able to post a lot of these audios, and shout out to TK. He helped me build my podcast channel. And so the last 8 or 9 episodes, if I consider it a good episode, I post the audio on the Spotify. So yeah, you can catch it there.
All right,
But
because I'm on.
it may be several days before this episode is posted there.
Right. Yeah, I follow your Spotify, and then I'll just message you because I got a lot of things to think about right now.
Yeah, man, tap in. I'm very sort of narrow-minded because I know what I want, I know what I'm going for, and I'm here for the game. And then if you have that alignment and intention, then I have a lot of intelligence to bring order to confusing decisions and prioritization and perspectives. And I'm happy to talk with you in any case, wherever you're at with it. But I just want you to know that my advice comes from being a dedicated student, meaning when I advise about anything, business choices, sales, or lifestyle, women, or anything, I'm coming from the
Yeah.
perspective of, do you want to be the best? This is what I would do, and it comes in alignment with training, whatever. Which for everybody, if you missed the pitch, I recommend the $47 class, azduniversity.org. Send me a screenshot when you sign up, and I'll give you like an ebook or something. And that's with AZD Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. So if you got $47, I recommend jumping on that.
Yeah. Does this one require an application or some questions
No,
answered?
it does not.
Okay.
Hop in,
Cool.
man. Next class is Tuesday.
All right. I'll pop in as soon as I can.
Yeah, that'll be a great comeback. I've been wanting to see you
I
back
know.
in
I
the
need it.
classes for so long, man.
I'll tell you why it's taken so long, but it's I had a couple setbacks.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Life.
Well, it'll be worth it in the end. It's always gonna be worth it in the end, man.
Okay. All right. I'll catch up soon.
Catch up soon, man. All right, anybody else? I'm about to go compete with all the dudes in the sauna. They don't know it yet, but I'm about to beat them. All right, nice. Tony posted the YouTube there, so if you want to check that out, Troy Story on the Zoom chat. I don't see any other comments on YouTube. Okay, so I guess we wrap it up. Guys, free newsletter is imcbase1.com. If you want to get connected with the daily class, it's azduniversity.org. You can also just send me a message. I'll put you in touch with whatever. On imcbase1.com is the free newsletter. 100 pieces of AZD content that just gets out on automation. So you get a piece of content in your email every day. It's beautiful. And everybody else, man, I look forward to communicating with you. Hopefully see you here in Vegas. The game is real. You can win the game. And I'll tell you what, with a team, you just haven't felt the power of a team that's on your side with this thing. And that power is the power of the pack. And it's not about getting the girls. Don't come to Vegas training with AZD to get Vegas girls. These are the most difficult girls, in my opinion. Outside of the only others that I would even consider would be local Miami and local New York. Those are New York City. Those are the only girls that are even comparable. But it's different because Vegas is a tourist city with a lot of money flow through it. It's only for that purpose. It's why it exists, for big money to flow through. The local girls that we talk to that are in the game, like the ones that we talk to, are the most difficult girls to get in the world. That's our training ground. Don't come here to try to get the girls. Come here to train the game with the team that's the inner circle team of the master, the apex player of Earth. And align yourself, learn higher order thinking, higher order practices, higher order operating, take it back to your home turf and develop your team, man. Be the best, fuck the rest. IMC Nation, Jay Guru Dev.